We have a lot to talk about. Slam those hearts. Robin, Pamela, Joyce, come on in, guys. Karen Hall, Chrissy, enough is enough. That's right. Uh, we're not taking anymore. We got a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff we're going to go over. So let's give it a few more seconds, get some more people to join in. Jersey in the house, Theo. Love Jersey. I'm a New York guy. So, it's hard to say New York. I'm already in Florida for so long. Marjorie, Tart, I know. Definitely difficult world we live in, but don't give up hope because I promise you we have a lot of, light at the end of the tunnel. And on that note, Margie, I recommend go read my sister's letter today. If any of you that don't know or don't follow my sister Ludmila, she put out a letter today. And for those of you just like Marjorie out there that just now said, giving up hope or can't stand what we're going through, definitely read the letter. I think it'll give you some good positive energy, what gives me hope, but also a lot of information I'm going to give you that's going to give you hope, hopefully, because we have a lot of stuff going on. Thank you, Chrissy. She is amazing. Wouldn't do it without her. But definitely, guys, go out, take a look at her letter, and I think it will give you a lot of positive because we are going through such craziness. I was sitting here just writing, making notes of all the stuff not to forget to talk about, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think about all the things that are happening, and all around. Hey, Jablin and Kimber, all of you guys, welcome, welcome. Come on in. So I don't know where do we begin. Chardonnay. Where do we begin? Let's begin with some really good news, and then we'll break it down because we have so much. We're going to talk about updates about Michael Cohen and some new revelations that are coming around that we're going to discuss. And our team, Ellie, Zev, and everybody behind the scenes are working on that came out today, having to do with the likes of Reverend, if you remember, Falwell Jr. All of a sudden is coming into the mix of all of this. So we're going to talk about that, but we'll leave that towards the end. The good news I'd like to start off with is that there was just some breaking news before I went on that there is not going to be a shutdown. It looks like, well, if there is, there might be a shutdown, but it looks like Schumer came out and said that they have a deal, that there's a deal in the works. And it looks like, again, this is not confirmed. I just, right before I came live, I saw it on CNN. So, excuse me. So we're going to need to verify it. But if it is confirmed, basically it sounds like a major win to us folks, and it would just be because our voices are being heard. Because basically, the deal is that they would fund all the federal government agencies, and they would for till I think 2028 or whatever that year is, except for ICE. ICE would only be funded for 2 weeks, and then exactly already they broke it up, and basically in the hopes that in 2 weeks that I'm finally wearing it. I had it for a while, the sweatshirt, and this hasn't been cold enough, and now it's cold enough. I love it, guys. Better than the t-shirts. The sweatshirt, I'm gonna be honest with you, is love it. I would wear it all day. It's so comfy. But anyway, so yeah, so hopefully that day, and you guys definitely you could go get levremembers.com. Not only your enough is enough stuff, but also remember, Voice from Ukraine we got there. Also, the website is being redone right now, also with updates. Make sure that we'll have also our volunteer stuff up there. We'll have also different updates. Make sure you register your email there so we can get in touch with you if God forbid any of these platforms. That's one thing that I think is important for all of you out there, and because you never know what could happen. You never know with these platforms. You never know who buys them. Look what happened with Twitter, with X. So I think important thing is for those of you that have not yet, go to my website, levremembers.com. I think it's already up there. If it's not, then give it a day. It will be up there, basically where you can register your email to make sure that we could stay in touch. So this way, if there's any way that we lose touch or for whatever reason, the app or anything, I'll be able to email you guys and wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, to be able to get in touch, get you the information. So go to levremember.com. But in the meantime, obviously, our volunteer volunteer hotline. So make sure you go there. So that's some really good news. Hopefully, that news comes out true. Hopefully, that we will start seeing our voices be louder and be more heard in Congress, and hopefully, again. I gotta hear it, but we'll see what happens in the next few hours, in the next day or so. Senate has to again. This might not happen until Monday. Again, lots of things could happen in the meantime because we'll get into Minnesota in a second. Also, just quickly want to touch on. Don't want to talk about this. This is not really news, but I did want to comment on it because it's just so crazy to think about the dictatorship that we're living in. That Donald Trump basically today, because Melania Trump, her numbers were so bad, and that she basically couldn't sell tickets to her premiere, is premiering it at the Kennedy Center, folks. So that's what we've gotten to, where Donald Trump is premiering Melania at the Kennedy Center. Also, I haven't confirmed it yet, but I saw Acosta put it out there and others, so I'm going to run with it. That basically that there's also ads on Craigslist, folks, that are basically advertising $50 not for you to sit there, but you have to sit through the whole movie and watch the whole movie to get, I guess, ratings or whatever. They can't sell tickets. It's a horror show. And again, this is part of, the world we live in. So just wanted to touch on that, give you guys a little, good news from all the angles. Then, also, before we get into Minnesota, before we get into election and everything that's happened, let's talk about international. Some more good news, amazing news. For those of you, please do me a favor. I'm just curious. I usually never do this, but I'm curious. How many of you just put a yes or a no? If yes, if you did, no, if you didn't, got a chance to read my letter today that I put out early in the morning. We deliver hope into the dark, and it's not over. If you could just hit that yes or no, I'm just curious, just for myself, because okay, I see a lot of yeses, nos. Oh, a lot of no still. Well, guys, it's in your inbox. If you have not read the letter, I recommend you definitely read it because it was for you. This letter I wrote today was meant for each and every one of you, to for you to understand. And some of the letter was very hard to write. And some of it's going to be very hard to watch and read. I could promise you that. But I want you to understand that feel good about yourself, and when you watch it and you read it and you realize actually what we are doing, and when you realize what we have done in such a short period of time. And and that's the important part. A lot of people talk a big game, a lot of people say they're going to go do this, they're going to do that. The one thing I just want you to say, we do it together as a family, as a community. Just take a look, and if you could think about, I just didn't have enough room in a letter to put all the videos and all the families that we have helped in Ukraine. Thanks to you guys, thanks to Alexander, and him being an incredible hero. And I'm proud to say that the work he does over there, and for all the support you guys give. I can't even explain to you. It's just amazing. So I definitely recommend you guys, when you get home, if you have not read it, and even if you haven't read it, go home again and read it again. And before you go to sleep tonight, read that letter and feel good about yourself. Know that it doesn't matter if you sent $1, it doesn't matter if you sent in 1,000, if you sent in no money and just sent that GoFundMe over to somebody else, or restacked or became a paid subscriber. It doesn't matter what it is that you did, but I want you to feel good about that. What you're doing is working, and not only working here in the United States. And I know sometimes it's hard to see because, days go by and you think, well, we made the calls, I don't see change, but I promise you the change is happening and it's working over there. Even though, yes, I have some obviously not so great news to talk about Ukraine, because right now, certain things, that's happening in the Middle East with Iran, certain things that are happening in Russia, Ukraine, that's not being talked about because our news coverage are being taken away with the theatrics that's playing out in Minnesota. And I call it theatrics, folks, not because I want to insult the incredible people of Minnesota, or insult any of the people standing up for the rights of theatrics. I'm calling this from the Trump campaign, and slam those hearts, because we're going to talk about all this stuff, folks, and break it all down. But excuse me, I've been a little bit under the weather today. I got my green tea, so it's been a little bit cold. So, uh, Ukraine, Iran, Russia. Let me break down by starting off. I want to read to you a post that Donald Trump did yesterday. So yesterday, just to give you a little preamp of what happened, because the news doesn't tell you, is that Russia obviously has been really hitting, targeting, and doing. Hey, Dimitri, welcome, Darbit. Russia has been targeting in their terroristic acts. Not only if you've seen the videos of actual houses, buildings, but now they've also hit a rail train, a train with passengers, kids inside of it. Literally, they hit it with a rocket a couple of days ago. So Ukraine also, what you don't hear about is Ukraine doesn't just sit still. Ukraine fights back. Unfortunately, we don't hear much of it because their hands are tied behind their back because of Donald Trump and because of all of these supposed peace negotiations. But Ukraine does strike back, and strategically. So they struck back also a couple of days ago. And I want you to, and I want to read a truth post that Donald Trump wrote to respond to Ukraine's strike inside of Russia. This is extremely painful to read, but I want you to understand what's going on there. So Donald Trump wrote this yesterday. He goes, "I just finished speaking by telephone with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. The call lasted approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes. We discussed the attacks on Russia's docked airplanes." I want to repeat myself. The call lasted 1 hour and 15 minutes, and what we discussed was the attack on Russia's docked airplanes by Ukraine, and also various other attacks that have been taking place on both sides. Now, before I read it further, I just want to throw up right there. We're going to Mother of Yorkies. We're going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard. Absolutely. So, folks, slam those hearts, because we're going to speak the most important parts of what I want to discuss with you later on when we have some more people here. But in the meantime, this is important information of what's happening around, and why you're probably going to see. I know Malcolm's been talking about it, and others saying that we're probably going to be going to war with Iran. And I've been speaking to my sources, folks. And yes, what I'm going to say is right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a war with Iran. Right now, it's what's happening in Iran is being negotiated with Vladimir Putin. And as I've reported, but just like what happened in Venezuela, all of it's connected. Because remember what happened in Venezuela. Remember, just think about for a second the day Venezuela, when we took over, when Trump kidnapped Maduro. Remember how everybody was the outrage that the Russians would never. This is a line we don't cross. The Russians are going to be so pissed. The Chinese are going to be so pissed. Do you remember all of that? Well, just think about it. Right now, Russia is not pissed. Not even talking about Venezuela. Russia is, if anything, praising Donald Trump on everything that's going on. Because, folks, I keep telling you, it's all theater, and it's all meant to, because the deal was made back when Trump's first administration. Russia wants Ukraine. Russia wants Eastern Europe. In return, they're giving Trump what he wants, and that's the Western Hemisphere. That's what Venezuela. That is, Greenland, and that is why, and Iran. Just so you understand, Iran is like a in between play because of Israel. This is where Benjamin Netanyahu comes in. So there's a lot of strategic things happening. So let me continue reading to you. So Donald Trump is, talking about an attack, and I just want to say he's calling the attack the Ukrainians did on the Russian planes that were standing still, but doesn't single out that Russians killed kids and killed others by attacking houses, attacking buildings, attacking railroad cars. With that, doesn't talk about that. He calls that that there were attacks being taking place on both sides. But then he continues by saying it was a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. Just think about that. It's a good conversation. How can it be a good conversation if it's not going to lead to peace? Okay, but in his mind, it's a good conversation. President Putin did say, and very strongly, that he will have to respond to the recent attacks on the airfields. Re- President Putin has responded very strongly that he's going to respond. So, what is basically Trump is already warning the United States, basically that get ready. There's going to be a massive attack in Ukraine, and he's already giving it excuses because Ukraine attacked one of Putin's strategical airfield. Just think about the craziness that's going on. Let me continue. We also, and this is where it gets interesting. This is why I tell you folks, follow the dots. We also discussed Iran. All of a sudden, Trump is discussing Iran with Putin. Before I go forward, I want to remind you something. If you remember when Trump was standing there pounding his chest saying that he struck Iran, remember, is Trump made a comment, and I want to remind everybody because people forget sometimes. He made a comment. He said that Vladimir Putin offered him to negotiate with Iran, and he responded and said, "You have problems at home." Remember, he was acting tough, saying, "I don't need your help with Iran. I need your help with Ukraine, and get that done. I got Iran taken care of." Well, that was then. This is now. Let's read this now. We also discussed Iran and the fact that the time is running out on Iran's decision pertaining to nuclear weapons, which must be made quickly. I stated to President Putin that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and on this, I believe that we were in agreement. Of course, they were in agreement because, as I reported, and I told you previously, the first strike in Iran was sanctioned and allowed by Putin. It was all a mastermind. If you remember, guys, if you go back 4 or 5 months when they struck Iran, and you take a look at the letters that I wrote and some of the lives that we went, some of you new folks that are coming on and joining our family, I ask you, please go back, take a look. It's all documented, and you will connect the dots. You will see what is going on and what's taking place because this is literally what happened prior to, and it's where now he's just in the open. Now he's not hiding it. Now he's basically saying that we right now are negotiating. In one Truth Social, he's telling you that I'm basically allowing Putin to do what he wants in Ukraine, and Putin is going to give me my win in Iran. Now you're asking him, why does Trump need Iran so badly right now? Why is Iran? Well, Iran is a distraction, folks. It's in two ways. It's a major distraction because of A, the Epstein files, but B, what's happening right now that's extremely, extremely important, and we're going to speak about. And it's something that I wrote about and spoke about for months, and I was sounding the alarm before anybody spoke about, and now it's coming to fruition, and it's really scary, folks. And it's called, remember what I called it? I called it election reform. Donald Trump, Project 2025, and their election reform. That Donald Trump is going to do whatever he can in his power, and that Stephen Miller, that they're working behind the scene, and not only Stephen Miller, but Russell Vaught, that there's a whole group of individuals and names that we don't know, that you don't know, that are basically behind the scenes right now preparing it. The things that you're seeing play out in Minnesota. Before we get into the election floor, let's talk about some other things. I want to smash those hearts, folks, because some of the stuff we're going to talk about is extremely, extremely important, and we're connecting the dots. So, as you see, and before we get off of Ukraine, thank you, Lev's Army. God bless you, folks. Please share the Ukrainian GoFundMe before we get off Ukraine, because we're going to go switch over to Venezuela right now. I want to make it sure that we continue, and I want to end off on the Ukraine stuff like this, because there's a few in the letter. Those of you that have not read it, I want to tell you something important that happened. So this GoFundMe that we have put together right now, we're finalizing it, and we're gonna keep growing it, because this is a GoFundMe that has to do with generators and all kinds of heat and help. That right now we're expanding because of we're going to be helping out Chef Jose Andreas from the World Health Kitchen. We're also going to be helping very incredible groups like Save Ukraine that helps kids. So all your help, and if you watch the videos, and if you see the incredible how each generator how much it's basically a lifeline. It's not even a donation. I wouldn't even call it a contribution. I mean, basically, we are that lifeline. But what we're also going to do, because what happened was when Alex went to this family, and you'll see the video there. It was a family of a mother and it was three kids that were disabled, and you'll hear her story. She talks about it, and when Alexander finished taping that, he told me he sat there and cried like for half an hour. He called me later in the day after we published it. He spoke to this. You'll hear in the video this lady talks about a woman called Oksana that also she praises her for her help. So what we found out is that there's like about 72 families that live literally, if you see the videos, they live like in because of the war, like they live in nowhere land. And because of the weather, they're forgotten. And these are families that are not that are have disabled kids. Most of the not only are the kids disabled, but the parents are most of the parents are disabled also. It's a very, very sad and tragic situation because nobody really. It's like they're the forgotten people of the world. Like because they are so far out of the city, not only are they freezing, not only don't they have but medicine, food. She said that they survive off her vegetable garden that they were doing. So this lady Oksana has been helping them. So what we've decided to do, Alexander has spoken to her, and we're putting together a game plan to find out what the cost is going to be involved. But basically, we want to take it upon our community to help these 70 families with these, kids, disabled kids, disabled families, and make sure not only give them what they need, not only generators, but also make sure that we could deliver medicine to them. Alexander said that he's going to arrange this young, one of the kids that he knows out of the school is going to volunteer and once a week drive up there because it's like almost a 3.5, 4 hour drive through the roads to get there to deliver medicine to this community and food. And so we're going to put together because I mean my heart broke if you watch, and I ask you, and I'm telling you, watch the video not because I want you to or your heart to sink, but I think it's a good understanding of how much help and how every dollar is important. So please, please, please continue helping the GoFundMe. We're doing such incredible work, and we're just expanding. And the more I think that's the best thing what I could say. Our platform, besides spreading the information, is the best thing we've done. Is just think about in this such a short, small period of time, how many lives we've saved, how many families we've helped, and we're only getting started. So continue, please, definitely with the GoFundMe, and I will keep you updated on our new project once we figure out to be able to help these 70 families with these disabled kids, because that's going to be our personal voice from Ukraine, our project, something that each and every one of you we're personally going to take it upon ourselves to get them through this war until they're able to get governments or whoever to help them, and until some billionaires or some organizations come in, because I know a lot of you have been writing and saying, where are all these billionaires? Why do we have to do these GoFundMe's? Where are all these organizations? And folks, I agree with you. I'm just as pissed off. There's so many wealthy individuals that could make a difference, but unfortunately, it sometimes takes people like us, takes human to be able to lead by example and show humanity. And I'm hoping that one day somebody might go on our live or see our. That's why I keep saying we need to spread the message. That's why I keep talking about making it bigger. We're X-Girl. We're talking about 501(c)s, putting together everything properly. There's a lot of news that I can't mention right now that are in the works that I will be updating you guys on soon, but definitely. So keep that in mind. But let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela today. Something interesting happened. Donald Trump. The phone elections. Donald Trump came out in his whatever you want to call it, press conference or meeting. Spoke about Venezuela, how the Venezuelan people are doing much better, how he's working great with the government. Basically, it's the same corrupt foreign government, lying basically, and saying that now they're opening up the airspace and saying that it's going to be safe for people. What's it called, to be able from Venezuelans to go back to Venezuela. Folks, it's a lie. He's completely deceiving. It's another distraction because all of these distractions are meant for certain things. Yes, they're meant to distract from the Epstein files. Yes, they're meant to distract, which was the biggest thing right now is his election reform or election fraud or election intimidation, whatever you want to call it, that he's planning on doing. Oh, please, if any of you could tag Howard Buffett, get a hold of him because Howard Buffett knows Alexander. If we could get the two of them together, because they've been separated, but Alex used to work for an organization that Howard Buffett founded. Howard Buffett used to call Alexander his brother. If we could somehow get to him, absolutely, I think that would be yeah, not Warren Buffett, Howard Buffett. Warren is the father. Howard is the son. Howard is the one that. But if anybody out there, will pay, putting in the atmosphere, putting it out there, you never know. So, guys, maybe send a letter, send a text, send these pictures, send Alexander's. If you guys have emails to him. But yeah, if we could get a hold of Howard Buffett, I think we could do a lot of help, not only because for the world kitchen and everything, because there's a lot of things, a lot of politics that have been playing in the air for over the years that funding has stopped to Ukraine in a lot of ways. But definitely, folks, if you could get to him, definitely get to Howard Buffett would be great. So. Uh, Venezuela, another distraction. Don't listen to the hype. We're going to be talking about some major news that I'm working on with some Venezuelan investigators. Also, behind the scenes that I can't get into right now, but we're going to talk about exactly how the money flow is happening, where the money is going through, why the Qatari bank and not American banks, why is Donald Trump saying the quiet part out loud by saying they're using Qatari banks because they don't want American debt collectors to go after the money that the Venezuelans owe them. What he's not telling you also is that Delcy Rodriguez, the president of Venezuela, the one that he's saying he's having a great relationship, cannot have an account in the United States. Venezuela can't have an account. So if they can't, the only way she could get paid, the only way the Maduro organization and the generals and the drug regime and all these people could get paid that to keep this a whole thing running is that's why they're using the Qataris. Because also another thing that nobody is reporting on, guess who was in Russia today meeting with Vladimir Putin? It was MBS folks. MBS. Just connect the dots. They're all there. It's I wish I had my shirt today. They're all in the loop. I mean, literally. I mean, you got the Saudis with MBS making the marriage between the Russians and the Americans with Kushner and Dmitriev. You know, playing Venezuela, giving Trump his magic win, and everything is, basically not only didn't change. And just think about the crazy part. Not only didn't it change, it got worse. Everything is getting worse and worse. The situation in Ukraine, with the attacks from Russia is going, the way NATO is all. Just think about the shock effect still from Greenland that has caused that. Have you heard anything coming from the Europeans or anything about Ukraine lately? Nothing. Zilch, quiet since Davos, since that whole, we're going to attack Greenland. Then all of a sudden, supposed we made a deal. What's the deal? Remember, what the breaking news? All of a sudden, Trump went there. There's a deal. There is no deal, folks, because we control Greenland. And so that's, again, distractions, again, confusion, again, all of this. Do I have my DC trip set up yet? Yes, I do. I'm going to DC, actually not December, February 12th. I'm going to be in DC. I'm going to be meeting with Congressman Raskin, and so February 12th. But I have a lot more stuff to announce to you guys sooner. So keep, but though definitely, we need, thanks, Pegs, for putting our GoFundMe in there, folks. All the support we need now more than ever, because we're getting really ready for. Oh, Tanya, really? That's my daughter's birthday. February 12th is my daughter. Happy. And my birthday is February 6th. So you're an Aquarius. Love Aquariuses. To all the Aquariuses out there. So yeah. Oh, look, winter February. Yeah, we're February 12th. I'll be in DC. So anybody in DC, maybe what we'll do is, you know what? You just gave me a great idea. Maybe let me think of, maybe we could, I could see if I could rent some space. If there's enough of you out there, maybe we'll do like story time with Lev, or some kind of gathering for some of the paid subscribers or something while I'm in DC, and we could do, or some book signings, or let's see, maybe we could put something together while I'm down there also. Who's February 7th? Amy. All right. Well, look how many Aquariuses we have in the house. And we have, oh, so yeah, we got a lot of birthdays coming out. Oh, February 6th. Wow, look at this. That's so awesome. So definitely shout out to all the birthdays out there. Anybody's birthday today, that's actually a great thing we should do. From now on, let's do it like that. The day we're doing, oh, your son's February, Valentine's Day. That's awesome. But whoever's birthday it is, like that day, let's do it. So this way we can wish that person a happy birthday from the whole family. I think it's a great opportunity, because nowadays, people try to forget that their birthdays. I think that's wrong. I think you should enjoy it, celebrate it, and let's make it a Love Remembers Voice of Ukraine type of like tradition now. That when we do a live on your birthday, you announce it here. So you come out here, you tell us it's your birthday, and we could shower you with happy birthdays and hit those hearts and make you feel special, and maybe even have my sister come out and give you some positive birthday energy wishes, to make that special. But let's do that, definitely, because a lot of people, are so angry with everything going on. We don't celebrate our birthdays. We don't celebrate holidays. No, screw that. We gotta do the opposite. Remember, there's actually a saying: the more you smile, the longer you will live. So don't allow them to let them be frowny. We need to kill them with kindness, truth, facts, and strength. I'm saying to you, and that's what we're gonna do. But so let's get into some important stuff. Not that the other stuff wasn't important, but definitely uh, we got the next stuff we're going to talk about is extremely important, and that is what I call election reform and what's happening in Minnesota. So first of all, Minnesota. Before we go forward, I know the media is out there talking about how now all of a sudden Tom Homan is this white knight. This is all great. This is, folks, this is even more dangerous than having that little Nazi running around screaming his head off. Because let me explain to you what's happening and what's really going on. So Donald Trump and his whole crew basically didn't apologize, didn't go out there and say, okay, we made a mistake here, we're going to pull out the troop, this is what that didn't happen. And that's why I say always watch what they do, not what they say. So what they said was that they're sending in and they're going to pull back there, and Holman's going to, now he's speaking to the leaders and they're going to work differently and all of this, blah 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 blah, right? In the meantime, what is taking place behind the scenes, I don't know if you've already noticed it, but already right-wing media has been running with a video of Alex Preddy, about 11 days prior to his assassination, his execution. He was caught on video. Actually breaking the law, actually, something that he at that time could have been arrested for, but a video where they are now using it and branding him and trying to exactly rebrand what we're supposed to see, and trying to walk back, that narrative again. As far as all of those pundits that were on the bandwagon screaming, Christy Noem's going to be gone. Christy Noem's going to be gone. As you can see, she's not gone anywhere. She's not going anywhere. These people are not going, and do not get distracted by that. The only person that was kind of and not even reprimanded, Trump came out and still said he's a great guy. We're just using a different tactic. They never walked it back. Was that little Nazi? But otherwise, everything is still the same. Now, today you saw him come out, Homan, and do this, whole, I don't know what was a speech in this quiet voice, and this is what it's beautiful, because just think about what they do and how they cause a big problem, and then they make it so big that when they send in somebody even worse, you're just so happy to get change that you're willing to accept and you're willing to do it. The best example I always say is when Donald Trump decided that he was going to nominate Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Everybody got so scared that when he brought Pam Bondi in, she flew in like nobody even cared what was going on. Same thing here. Everybody is just so relieved that you don't have literally a Nazi with the crew cut and the leather straps and the green standing there saying that we're going to come do it, we're going to do it. Instead of having that, you have a more scarier guy coming in that is very peacefully saying, I've been doing this for 40 years, folks. I've known that. But if you listen to his voice, if you listen to what he's really talking about, he's not talking about anything about justice for Renee Nicole Good. He's not talking about justice for Alex Preddy. He's talking about how many of his ICE agents that he needs to protect, how many of his ICE agents he had to bury, how ICE agent, the rhetoric, how is he's talking about. So if you take a look at what he keeps talking about, and it's nothing has changed. If you take a look at Donald Trump coming out and his messages and tweets, nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed, folks, is that you don't see that little Nazi standing in front of the camera. You don't see Christine Ohm right now standing in front of the camera and giving you lies. You see a totally different play. So what are the people thinking? Oh my God, we have change. This is not change. There's still ICE agents all over Minnesota. If you speak to the people in Minnesota, they're still seeing, people are still being detained. People are still being taken out. There's still things happening. People are still protesting. Nothing really. The only thing is now they're having conversation. Now they're talking about, that, yeah, it reminds me of like literally where like there's like they comparing these conversations. It's the same thing as they're having peace negotiations in Ukraine and Russia. Really? Like, Russia does not talking about peace. Russia's talking about taking over Ukraine. Same thing here. Trump's not talking about taking, because look, it's very simple. We don't have to have conversation. Donald Trump could just say, take the ICE agents out of Minnesota, and that's it. It's over with. That's the first thing he could do. See, this is what nobody's talking about. Everybody's talking about that the governor of Minnesota has to do something, that, that there has to be talks, peace. Well, why not the first thing to show good faith, to calm down the temperature, to allow this? Right now, take the ICE agents out of Minnesota, and then let's sit down and talk. Why are we having these conversations while this is still progressing? So nothing has changed, just like nothing has changed in Ukraine. When I say there, nothing has changed in Venezuela. Nothing has changed here in Minnesota. And while that's happening, what is now playing out? What I've been telling you guys for months, and today, I after I read the article, I started making phone calls, and that's why I came out a little later. Is about Tulsi Gabbard, folks. That's why, because it was interesting. A lot of people kept saying to me, "Where's Tulsi Gabbard? How come we don't hear Tulsi Gabbard? What's Tulsi Gabbard up to?" Well, folks, I can tell you what Tulsi Gabbard's up to right now. Tulsi Gabbard has been behind the scenes working on rewriting the 2020 election, and to making a case to prove that the elections were actually rigged. And do you know why Tulsi Gabbard's doing that, folks? See, the narrative is not only to change the narrative and not only to change history, but also to help implement what Stephen Miller and Russell Vaught and Project 25 is about new laws for called election reform, folks. That is why you saw the FBI raid yesterday. That is why you saw the FBI raid, the DOJ in Georgia trying to take taking all the election documentation. That is why Pam Bondi, what did she say? What did she say in the letter to the Minnesota governor? Give me your election rolls. Because at the end of the day, they're telling you, they're showing you exactly what's happening right now. This is all about elections. This is all about the midterms. This is all because Donald Trump they're not stupid, folks. They understand, just like we see that he's underwater, negative 30, 80%. They all see the numbers. They all understand that they're all going to get creamed. That's why you're seeing, already certain Republicans start, switching sides too late, a little too late, I would say, but switching sides on the wrong things. That's why I keep screaming about, the Epstein files, because, just think about all of these. We're into the month already. January has passed, and we have nothing new. No new leaks, no new subpoenas, nothing. The only new thing that happened in January was that Comer is now trying to indict the Clintons for not coming to testify in front of them. That's the only thing. Think about it. Nothing about Cohen, nothing about Michael Wolff, nothing about Steve Bannon, Les Waxner, and a whole bunch of other people that they could be subpoenaing right now and having these trials. But no, we're stuck on just on the Clintons and nobody else. And that's why we have that petition, folks. And that's why I ask if you guys could throw that petition in the chat, and I'll put it out there. But please, I think we're close to 10,000 signatures already. As soon as we get over 10,000 signatures, I'd like to have over 100,000 signatures, because on February 12th, when I go to meet with Congressman Raskin, I'm also going to try to meet up with Congressman Rokana. I want to come in there with that petition, and I want to show them how strong our voices are. I want to be able to come in and say, look, I understand we can walk and chew gum at the same time. I understand you guys want to see more, what's it called, documentation, and you're trying to release it. I can understand all of that. But at the same time, what we need to do is we have already people named in these Epstein file dumps. We know there's certain people that have more information that they could share with us, and we need to get to that. So I ask of you guys, please share the petition, uh, because what is taking, and I'm going to be making some phone calls later on, but right now, what I'm hearing from a lot of people on the inside and in the White House and around, that there's right now a major, major push, which that's happening, that is not being talked about. And I hope that this raid that happened yesterday and the reporting that we're going to do over the next several days about behind the scenes about Tulsi Gabbard, because we're just getting started. I'll be writing more about it later tonight. So make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to definitely go into what is happening and what their plans are. So we need the media to report on this more, because we need this attention to be more laid out, because we can get hit with the surprise that they're planning on doing. That's with Tulsi Gabbard. Last but not least, folks, let's talk about what's going on with Michael Cohen and some of the latest information that has come to our attention. And that, yeah, folks, definitely make sure get that petition out there, and let's because signatures are for free. You don't have to do anything. Let's get them signed. If you signed already, send it to 3-4 people that you know. Let's try to get there. So when we go, when I go, when I say I go, it's we go. When we go to Washington D.C. to Congress on December 12th, let's get as many as possible signatures as we can. So I'm some of the stuff I'm going to tell you right now is I just want to remind you and bring you back to a time, and also because in the next few days, right now, some of our great independent journalists like Ellie Leonard, Zev Shalev is actually moving, but that's why another reason. But we're going to be reporting on some of this stuff in the next few days. We're just verifying some of the facts. We're verifying, going through some of the sources. But some interesting things have come out having to do with some of the names. Basically, Michael Cohen. Um, basically, if you remember Jerry Falwell Jr. Jerry Falwell Jr. There was this big controversial situation in 2015 where Jerry Falwell Jr. His wife was having an affair with a pool boy in Miami. Uh, Michael Cohen ended up with pictures. He was very close friends with the Falwells. Had ended up with pictures of Falwell's wife and the pool boy. Was asked by Falwell to get rid of them. Uh, what I'm hearing is that the way the timeline goes is uh, supposedly Michael has never gotten rid of him, still has some of those pictures, and we'll talk about that. Why would he still have these on the Falwell? But also, this is around the same time, well, when Falwell all of a sudden endorsed Donald Trump in 2016. And this is also the same time about all of these things that was happening with not only Stormy Daniels, but also Katie Johnson. Um, also, I'm hearing from sources, I cannot confirm, so I'm not going to really. I don't want to just say stories until I confirm them. But from so far, from what I'm hearing from some really good individuals, that some of them are still have NDAs. Some of them are coming out and talking behind the scenes because they don't want to get back dragged into some of this stuff. But from what I'm hearing, a consensus, and this is what I could say with full confidence, and I want you folks to hear me carefully, that from everybody that I've spoken to, the one consensus that we all could agree upon, and these are people that having to do with Michael Cohen from a various different, that dealt with them a lot of different things, is that we all agreed that Michael Cohen was definitely aware of the Katie Johnson case. Michael Cohen was definitely aware of Epstein and what was going on at that time frame. Michael Cohen knows a lot more about not only Donald Trump but other people in his orbit, that it like Falwell, that he's playing still dangerous games with. And there's also, I could say, we will be having soon concrete evidence to debunk his letter that he wrote about being coerced by uh, Letitia James and Alvin Bragg, because that's all a bunch of bull. Because I can't go into how, because people ask me to stay, are very scared and want to stay off the record for now. But this is just some of the things that are right now floating in the air, and we have a lot of it to connect the dots, a lot of it to confirm. But again, the bottom line, the consensus from all of these different people, different investigators, different journalists, different situations, different things that were happening, but all around the same time. Everybody, the one thing that that they said to me, that some said they can't talk about, some they said they have no comment on it, some said they have an NDA, some said that they are still have to think about, might want to, yes, Falwell, the preacher guy. There's actually a documentary done. It was called The Pool Boy. The interesting part is, look how the world works. The same Billy Corbin, the guys that did The Pool Boy, is the same guy that was part of Rachel Maddow that did my documentary. Interesting, right? So I'm just saying, God works in mysterious ways. So what I'm saying to you is, there's the one thing that I could tell you is, all of these connections and all of these things say is that Michael Cohen was definitely has a lot more information and knows a lot more that's going on. So we're going to stay on top of it. And in the next few days, stay tuned, because we're going to have some breaking stories, and we'll be coming out about the updates, Michael Cohen, Michael Wolf, Epstein files. Also, we have Epstein attorney Alex coming in. Eric, I'm sorry, Alex. I was thinking about Alexander. And coming in next week also, and a lot of things happening. So I just want give you guys this update. I wanted you to understand what actually is happening out. The most important thing I think we should concentrate right now, besides, obviously the Epstein files is our way of getting there, but I think everybody needs to right now open up their eyes a little bit and watch what's happening with this election, or what happened in Georgia. It was a very big move on their part. The fact that now we know Tulsi's behind the scenes, we're going to dig a lot deeper into that to find out what's going on. But I could tell you, this fits into exactly what we've been talking about for the past 7, 8 months, probably 2, 3 months after, when I remember even writing that letter saying that Trump is, he calls it election reform. I'm going to try to find that letter, republish it, but extremely important what's going on. So, folks, a lot of happening, a lot of obviously scary stuff and stuff we need to be worried about. But at the same time, I want you to get one thing straight: that together we will prevail. Together we are going to get our democracy back. It's just a matter of time, because even though there's a lot of crazy stuff happening, as you could see, they're also making a lot of mistakes. You're also seeing that there's a lot of pushback happening, not only by the courts, but also because of certain people that did not fit their narrative of certain ways that didn't happen. And it's crazy to see that we have a president of the United States that is actually more upset that the individuals that got killed didn't fit his criteria of black, brown, undocumented, or criminals, than being more, instead of having some kind of special day in honorance of 2 American citizens that passed away. So that's the world we live in. So the good part about it is your incredible work in Ukraine is doing a lot of great work. So for those of you joining late, I'm going to put this out. Just wanted to let each and every one of you know that the letter I put out today, read it if you haven't. It's for you. I meant to write for you. It took me several days to put it together, because I wanted to try to portray for you to understand not only what the people are going through, but actually also how incredible the work that we're all doing together as a community, as a family, that's helping them. So I wanted you to feel good about that. As far as what's happening here in the United States and all over the world, the easiest way to wrap it all up, folks, it's theatrics. All of it's theatrics. At the end of the day, what's really happening is Russia is trying to take over Ukraine. Trump is grifting and selling out our country all over the world. Him and his sons and his people, from his donors in Venezuela to people in Russia to his oligarchs in in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. And so, while this is happening, the real monsters behind the scenes that are it's like, I think in that, I forgot the name of that movie where you have that big monster, but then you had that, remember, little guy sitting in back of him with the remote controls, and that's Stephen Miller and that's Russell Vaught. While this is all playing around the world, while Donald Trump is having some bucket lists and premiering Melania at the Kennedy Center. Right now, these maniacs are trying to enforce and push Project 2025 and election reform as fast, as strong as possible, because for them, the midterms is D-Day. For them, it's a day that they're dreading, and that's why, don't get distracted by they're going to fire this guy or that guy. Don't get distracted by they're going to change their policy. They're not going to change. They're not going to. He's not going to go change his inner circle. Keep your eye on the ball and spread the message. That's the one thing I could ask everyone. And for those of you that can become paid subscribers, you're our backbone. Paid subscribers not only help spread the message, the algorithm. It's also obviously is the backbone of our platform. Those of you that go the extra mile and help Ukraine, help our platform with contributing to the GoFundmes, God bless you. But I want to be really honest with everybody, because I don't want you to feel that you have to spend money to be on this platform. Please, I want to make it very clear, because sometimes I don't get a chance to tell you this more often. But the most important thing anybody could do by being on this platform is sharing the information. You could see I have no paywalls. You could see I try not to, sell ourselves out to any one side or the other, and we try to stay to truth, facts, and reality, and that's what this platform's about. So I want to make it very clear: there's no pressure, because we are a family. We are made up of a combination of people that can become paid subscribers, that can contribute, and for people that can't, that could do other things, because it's not always about money. So by spreading the message, by retweeting it, restocking it, by signing the petition, by going out there protesting, by meeting me up with me in DC when we go up there to make our voices strong. You know what I'm saying to you? All of those things are just as important. So everything is important. And that's why I say to everybody, we're a family, we're a movement, we're a team, there's no I in team. There's no, one better than the other. Everybody does, and for those that can become paid subscribers, for those of you that can contribute, God bless you. From all of us, from this whole family, from everybody that can't, from me, myself, from my family, from the people of Ukraine, God bless each and every one of you, because every dollar, every contribution, every paid subscription allows us to continue doing this incredible work, not only in Ukraine, but here in the United States, by speaking truth to power. And I could promise you, we're only getting started. I wish I could tell you everything that we have going on right now, and because believe me, you'd understand. But soon I'll be able to really tell you exactly what we're planning, and I promise you, I'm not going to let you down. I promise you that I will make you proud that you are part of this family, that you are part of this platform, that that you're standing strong with me, standing strong with the survivors, standing strong with Ukraine, and standing strong for the truth. And I promise you that, we will go down in history, and you will be proud to go down in history alongside me as somebody that we made a difference. We just didn't stand on the sideline and watch this country fall apart, or watch authoritarianship go all over the world. Each and every one of us, by coming here, by being here, by listening, by spreading the message, is part of being on the front line. So I want to thank each and every one of you, and you know who you are. There's so many of you for me to scream out each and every one of you. But God bless you guys, and I'll leave you off with this. Continue, definitely sign the Epstein petition. Make sure you go to loveremembers.com or levpttp at proton.me. Sign up to our volunteer group, grassroots. What's all about. Becoming a subscriber. If you haven't yet, if you just joined and you're just scrolling, hit that subscription button and become a subscriber. Go look at some work. I promise you, if you can afford it, you will become a paid subscriber. And for those of you that can become paid subscribers and contribute, keep doing what you're doing because you're allowing us to do it. And hopefully, with some of the news I have that I'm putting together, hopefully we'll be able to move on to bigger things where we'll get some more donors and some more people that will be able to contribute to our movement, and we'll be able to expand and grow and make a real big difference. So. On that note, I'm just going to say, have a good evening. Make sure that if you haven't yet, hug your loved ones, hug your kids, your pets, your loved one, call your parents, your sister, your brother, your friend, or just go out and maybe just do something nice for yourself. Because with all the craziness that we're going at, the one thing we definitely need to do is we need positive energy. And the one thing I could tell you that if I was you, I would do that will cost you no money and will put a smile on your face today, and you'll thank me about tomorrow. Go to my sister's Substack, Ludmila Piker, Center of Positive Energy, and read her letter today. And I promise you, it'll put a smile on your face. It'll give you some hope, and it'll put you in a community where those days when you feel really out there, when you feel like you really have nowhere to turn, you'll go on there, read the letter, and they'll give you that a little positive energy that will, as we say, pay it forward, where you'll be able to turn around and put a smile on your face. And on that note, folks, again, God bless you. Have a great night. Slava Ukraini, a lot of stuff so stay tuned, and I'll be coming to you soon. Have a great night. Take care.